Hello, everybody. You are listening to On the Mic with Loudmouth Matt. And thank you for tuning in on today's episode. And here's what we got going on today. Thank you, everybody.
Hi everybody. This is Loudmouth Matt. Um, Obviously this is on the mic. Look, I've been quiet for almost a year now. Really haven't put nothing out. I've been trying to stay low, quiet. Um, but with what I've been seeing the last week, I'm getting outraged. I'm getting irritated. I'm getting in an uproar because I think of my grandfathers, both of them, more on my mom's side and on my father's side. Um, my one grandfather fought in World War II. He fought the Nazis. He was Antifa. My dad's father, he fought in the Korean War. He was also Antifa. Um, because we they fought against fascism. And what gets me is what I'm seeing. Um, I was an average student. I was maybe below average. It's one of those things. I'm high school, young and dumb. But we are seeing what we were taught in history. Even the when we're talking about Germany in World War II, we're seeing it happen, unfold. Um, and I wanted to get on here and rant and rave and be in an uproar, be loud and be ignorant and that because we're beyond the point of being nice. Americans, we are getting tired. We're getting restless because nothing's being done. And for you people to sit there and say, well, this is what I voted for, you're scum. You are plain out fucking scum. You're a fucking Nazi. You are. I'm going to be the first to tell anybody we need to start calling people out for what the fuck they are. And I'm in a situation where I'm torn. And I say I'm torn because I have my loving wife on one hand, my morale, my not my morale, I'm sorry, my morals on the other. And I don't want to deprive my lovely wife and my family of what they I don't want to deprive them of anything. But we 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 really need to start calling people out for what they are. If you're a fucking Nazi, own it. I have the balls to admit what you are. That's where I'm at. Stop hiding behind a fucking mask. I mean, you guys have been doing it for what, 200 years now? With the white hoods and now, your Amazon army gear with your Amazon masks. Grow some balls. Show who the fuck you are and admit what the fuck you are. Have the balls to do it. You're a fucking Nazi. That's what you are. And then you're gonna turn around, sit there and say, yeah, well, we're not, and this and that, but this is what you voted for. I remember being in school in the 80s and through the 90s. I was told to stand up, say the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. And I did that. I did that. And Ultimately, I wholeheartedly believe that. But when we said justice for all, I meant it, right along with many others. Uh, I'm going to start doing this again. Because if I'm silent and if I'm quiet, that means I'm complicit. And I'm not. Anybody who knows me personally will tell you I'm not complicit. I'm not compliant. They will tell you I'm a dickhead. They will tell you I'm a fucking ignorant asshole. But then you have the same people that'll tell you I'm the most caring, loving person in the world that you'll ever meet. But here's the problem. Now you're going for my family. And I'm not cool with that. I voted for Vice President Kamala Harris. Um, I will vote for her again if she ever ran. I will vote for Obama if he could run again. Fuck, I'd vote for Joe Biden if he did it again. We can sit here. I'm dumbfounded. I truly am. We can sit here and talk about our political opinions. That's one thing. Policies are one thing. But when it comes down to what's morally right and morally wrong, we can't be friends if you agree with this. No. And if you voted for this, I don't want you to fuck around around my family. I don't. Because I know ultimately you're scum. You're fucking evil. But, I the one thing I've been doing the last couple of days is I think we might all do it for those who have passed. Like turn our head and like, what the fuck? Like, what would you do? I don't know. I know I do. And I may not have known my mom's dad that well. He passed when I was about 9. But now my dad's grandfather, Staff Sergeant Red, I would turn. I've turned my head and be like, Pops, what would you do? What would you say? And for the last couple of weeks, it felt like I felt like a hand on my shoulder and said, son, remember the Constitution. I mean, I can hear him say he didn't go fight for a piece of cloth. He says that's what the flag is. It's a piece of cloth. He says I went, and his exact words, son, I swore an oath to protect the Constitution. That's what he would say. And he would talk about when him and I would talk about his time in Korea, he would always turn to me and say, son, I was doing my job. I deserve nothing special. I was doing my job. Well, in him doing his job, he was fighting for people who wasn't able to. He was standing up to fascism. But now you have these people who are defending fascism and saying that if you're Antifa, you're a terrorist group. Sometimes I wonder about you fucking idiots. I really do. I'm rambling. But anyway, look, I ain't going to do this much longer. So I'm going to start doing my show again. I enjoyed it. I'm going to still give you my opinions. It's going to be an opinion-based show still. And to be honest with you, I don't give a fuck if I offend you. If you're fascist, you're fascist. If you're a Nazi, you're a fucking Nazi. And we as creators, no matter how small or how big you may be, we need to come together and fight this fascist nonsense together as a group. As a well-regulated verbal militia. We need to stop being silent. We need to start speaking up more and more and louder. And we have to remain civil. But as a there was a group back in the 60s seen this shit coming, and it became illegal to openly carry in a state called California. I think it was the 60s, when their governor was Ronald Reagan. They knew this shit was going to happen. They knew it. They tried to warn us white people. But we don't listen. We never did. You guys, and we never will, is what it looks like. And I say we as all of us, not just a handful. And look what happened. They were doing everything right, everything under the books. When I say under the books, I mean as of by the books, by the laws. And they were still lied upon or lied about. A false narrative was then created to demonize this group. The Black Panthers were right. I'm 45 years old. And what I know of them, of the group, you would pretty much say the propaganda. But they were right. They knew it. They seen it. They warned us. And what did we do? We said, nah, not the government. But it's okay to do it to them. And then this election came up. And the women of the Black community told us all this shit was going to happen. That community told us. Again. That's when I realized, and I say it now, I said it then, I'll continue to say it. If you look like me, don't trust me. I won't trust you as far as I can throw you. And you have to assume every white person you come across is in the fucking Klan. You got to. But you know who your true allies are. They're the ones you trust. The ones that call you family. And you know that. And you know they mean that. You know you can trust them. So we have to start coming together, fight, and yeah, we need to start doing something better, people. Our grandparents deserve it. Our grandkids deserve it. For those who are standing behind ICE and this administration, and if your grandparents fought in World War II, you are now letting them be in vain. I said what I said. So we need to start opening up our eyes, and we really need to stay civil, get out there and protest, be loud, and like John Lewis said, go out and make some good trouble. Because right now, we're allowing him to be in vain. And everybody who stood up for civil rights, excuse me, everybody who stood up for civil rights, fought in World War II, and kept going with, we the people, or now we're putting their names in vain. We can't do that. We just can't do it. But that's exactly what's going on in this country right now. I don't know if we're beyond the point of making a turnaround and becoming the right side, or if we just got to keep on going down this path to say we have to abolish everything and restart. I don't know where we're at. I'm not that smart, and I'm not no scholar. But right now, it's we the people. And this is something our founding fathers would not approve of. And that's just from what I got from the history books. So have a good day. And this is your host, Loudmouth Matt.